Welcome to another exciting episode of the Epic Entrepreneurs Podcast. I'm Brad Sugars, the Chairman and CEO of Actioncoach, and today we're diving into the minds of some incredible business leaders, uncovering their real stories, strategies, and the secrets behind their victories. It's not just about success, it's about the journey, the hurdles, and turning challenges into opportunities. So let's jump right into it.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Epic Entrepreneur, where we interview some of the greatest business owners all over the nation and actually all over the world. Today, I have the utmost pleasure of interviewing Thomas Foushee with Ampro Industrial Batteries and Chargers. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you. I appreciate being on Actioncoach and be part of this, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Excellent. I'm Andy O'Brien. I'm your host today, and I've got a series of questions. And like I said, the learnings that you're going to pass along, we're super excited to have. So are you ready, Thomas?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. So let's start with the top 3 things you have done that made you successful in business.
So first, I've been in business now for almost 14 years. Actually, a little over, 10 years. I started the company in 2010. And my background has been more related to service. As I tell my business coach, I'm not a businessman, and he continues to tell me that I'm not a businessman yet. But I would say that starting my company, one of the first things that I felt was very important to our success was partnering with suppliers that really shared my vision for where I wanted to take the company. And being in the service field, they had to have a good product and great technical support. So I think that's key. Growing up with parents who've owned companies and friends that have started companies over the years, and I've seen some succeed, I've seen some fail. And one of the things that I've seen with the failures are the ones that generally don't separate their personal bank account from business bank accounts. So I thought it was imperative for me to make sure I set up the business correctly, hired a great CPA who helped me accomplish that. And to this day, I don't treat my business account like it's my personal piggy bank. So we've been very conservative, and we've been able to use profits to continue to grow the business. So again, I think that's very important to separate the two. And I would say probably the most important part of my success has been my wife. At the end of the day, when I decided I was a branch manager for the last 13 years prior to me starting my own company. So, she was, we made a very good income together, and had bought a brand new house. And so it was important for her to be on board with me starting my company, because if you don't have that support from your wife, then, you can't succeed. So I think that's probably the most important thing I can say I did, was making sure she was on board with that decision.
Yeah, and that's not always the easiest, is it?
Sure. It wasn't easy there, and I'm not even, because I know this is going to be published, so I'm going to be careful what I say. So I was born in Washington, D.C., and grew up between Gaithersburg, Silver Spring, Rockville, Maryland. Moved around a lot as a kid growing up. My mother and my stepfather at the time had a roofing company. So every summer when I was in 8th grade, I spent my summers doing roofing, cleaning up shingle trash, and hauling shingles up 1 and 2 stories. So when I was getting ready to graduate, my dad had a small battery business in North Carolina, and he asked me what I wanted to do when I got out of high school, and I said, well, I'm not really sure, but I know I don't want to do roofing the rest of my life. So I was smart enough to know that. And so I moved here with my started working with my dad, and so the battery industry is what I really is all I've ever known. So my dad had a small battery company. He ended up shutting down and moving to the beach. I continued to stay in the business and working my way from different technician positions to sales to again branch management. And in February of 2014, I decided that I wanted to start my own company.
Excellent, excellent. So it's nice to meet you, another fellow SOB. That stands for son of boss. That's what I got my start too. You know, we all get those learnings from our parents. I love that story about the roofing business. I was in the moving business, so we're not immune to hard labor. We're just allergic to it now.
Exactly.
Excellent. Well, that is a great, great lesson there. So let's keep going here. In all this time, right? Your experiences owning the business, success. What would you say has been your biggest challenge in the business, and how did you overcome that?
So, and I think everyone's going to agree with this answer. It's finding the right people and and getting them in the right place. Um, again, my background is in business. I was not generally on the hiring end of businesses, so having to learn how to hire people correctly, as opposed to being able to hire smart, as opposed to hire on emotion. Hey, I've got to have that new service tech in that service van. I've got to get them out there. And I would just hire, from the heart, as opposed to just really understanding how to vet that employee or potential employee. And that's one of the things that getting together with Actioncoach has really helped me. We say, what's been your biggest challenge and how you overcome it? I don't know you overcome that. I think it's always a challenge when you're trying to hire people and find the ones that share your vision, your values, and continue to help grow the business the way you want it to grow. But I will say that Ross Cox being my action coach has really helped me understand. Sometimes you just have to take a step back, and he's been able to provide the resources that has allowed me to find better qualified people. And you may find someone that may not be great for this job, but when you go through a DISC assessment, you may find out that person may work, better somewhere else. But it definitely has helped me hire smarter.
Excellent, excellent. So, looking at that, how has that changed you as a leader?
Well, um, I was used to working somewhere between 60 and 70 hours a week. So now, I've brought that down dramatically. I've been able to walk away from work, go on vacations, and really enjoy myself, as opposed to feeling like I have to call in every day or I have to get on my computer every morning and every afternoon. So I have great people in the right places that are taking on responsibilities, and I don't feel like I have to be there every step of the way anymore. So it's allowed me to, as my business coach will say, work when I want to work, not because I have to work.
Oh, I love that. I love that. All right. So, looking at over the last 10 years, how did you personally have to grow, and what did you most have to learn in order to create this success?
I think I had to become more mature, and in how I had to handle different scenarios. I was generally not a very patient person when it came to certain having to deal with certain employees. So I think maturing as a business person, you know, not shooting from the hip like I used to shoot from the hip. Um, I think that's probably the where I've grown the most, and what's really helped me. I think keep better talent, because there was a time when if it didn't go a certain way, then you would just be gone. And so now I think we've got a very good team of people there, and I think it's because of my ability to handle things differently internally, communicate better with my employees and my customers.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for that little learning. All right. So let's look at business coaching for a minute. Why did you get one? And what has it done? What has it meant to you and done for your business?
Well, I had gone to a I guess it was sort of like a lunch and learn, and I forget it was a bank that had put it on, and there was an action coach there, and they had given him an opportunity to present, um, and I had thought about it because I'd gotten to the point in my business where I'd grown it to a certain point, but then we just began to plateau. And I really felt like I was just spinning my wheels, um, not going anywhere, not really growing anymore. And I had received a phone call about, well, actually an email about filling out this form for a business coach. I filled it out. Within a matter of minutes, Ross had reached out to me, and we had a very candid conversation about the process. And he pretty much made it very clear, fill out this survey, and um, we'll get the ball rolling. And explained all the benefits that Action Coach could provide my company. And so from the time I did that, I just felt more at ease about things. He's come in and really helped me. And I had also hired consultants in the past, and I've spent a lot of money with consulting firms. And what I learned from consulting firms is they're going to come in and do the job for you, but they don't teach you how to do it. So having an action coach, having Ross on my side, he doesn't do anything for me. He actually does coach me and helps me learn these different things so that I can be the businessman that I want to be.
Excellent. That is incredible. It's like, it's always that old cliche, right? You learned how to fish, right?
That's right.
Excellent. Have you ever heard the third part of that cliche? Teach a man to fish, give a man a fish. You know what the third one is?
I vaguely.
Vaguely, sometimes you just got to hit him with the fish. You'll use that one with your team moving forward.
No,
I
I thought it was
promise
more
you.
like you teach a man to fish. He can if you go fishing, he can eat for a day. You teach a man to fish, he'll eat for life or something like that. Eat forever.
Yeah, it's totally that. And then the third one, we just threw that one in. That's a little Andyism that will help you along the way. So let's just talk about who is your coach and where are you located at?
So Watts Cox is my business coach. We're based out of Greensboro, North Carolina. He's in Greensboro, North Carolina. He's probably about 15 minutes from my office. We meet every Tuesday at 1:30. It's a standing meeting. We generally meet for an hour, but if it runs over, he'll give me as much time as I want. Just a great guy to work with, very very genuine person.
Excellent. How long have you had a coach, sir?
I think we're going on 3.5 years. I think it's about 3.5 years.
Excellent. So that is wonderful. So tell me, why do you keep a coach in your business?
Probably because I run into challenges all the time, and we'll as I've been trying to put the right people in the right place. Um, he's taught me a lot of things along the way, but as there's always things that come up um, that I don't know how to handle or deal with at times, and he'll come in and he'll help me put together the KPIs that I need for my sales guys as we are promoting guys or employees internally. He helps me put things in the right place so to have those key performance indicators, things to look for from them, so that I'm not getting involved in what they're doing day to day. So I think I feel like I have almost like a CEO on my side, someone that I have a go-to person. I feel like I can treat Ross like my preacher. I mean, you can tell him anything.
I love it. This is awesome. All right, two more questions. So, Thomas, you said you started your business, you've had it about 10 years. So, here's the first question. What would you go back and tell yourself 10 years ago as your best piece of advice?
Hire a business coach a lot sooner than I did. Honestly, I wish I had met Ross 10 years ago. My business would have been way further along than it is now, without a doubt.
Excellent. All right, next question. What top piece of advice will you give or would you give another business owner, entrepreneur around you on this call? I'm sorry, on this podcast, with all these people that watch this every week?
I would have to say again, it's, I learned by example. I mean, if unless you have an MBA, if you're a small startup, and you're like me, you have a very finite skill set and you're great at it. It doesn't mean that you have to know everything about your business. I highly encourage anyone to work with a business coach. Hire someone as soon as you can, because they will help catapult your business to where you want it to go. I can't tell you how many of my friends who have companies that I see the challenges that they deal with, things that they share with me. And I tell them, the first thing I tell them is, here's Ross's contact information, call him. And they ask, of course, one of the first things they ask about is what does it cost and how frequent do you have to meet with them? And I'll really tell them that, Ross looked at, everything about my company, and he structured a plan for me. What works for me doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you, from a financial standpoint or a time aspect, but just know that, Actioncoach is there to work with you, and they're honestly, they're genuine and help, drive your business in the right direction. And so that would be my advice. Get hold of a coach, and be open and honest, and they will help you get you where you want to be.
Oh, that is such great advice. Well, Thomas, thank you so much for being part of our Epic Entrepreneur podcast, where business owners from all over the world get to watch and learn from successful business owners as yourself. My name is Andy O'Brien, and I thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Andy.
And that's a wrap for today's epic conversation here on Epic Entrepreneurs. Huge thanks to our amazing guest for pouring their heart into sharing their journey. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button, leave a review, share it, or hit that bell. But until next time, let's make sure you keep dreaming, take massive action, and stay epic.